So I tried Iman Ghazi's new business model called shadow operating. And in this video, I'm going to share with you my honest thoughts, my results, and my experience throughout my entire journey. That way you can know if this actually works, or you'll know if you're wasting your time on another dream online that sounds good, but doesn't actually work. So before Iman Ghazi was selling Monetize, he sold this offer called Educate. You can see here, I bought it for 1 grand back in January 17th of 25. And I bought this because I was a big fan of Iman for years. I followed his journey online on YouTube, and I figured, okay, if Iman is selling this, it probably is going to work. Now, back then, this offer sold a combination of a ton of offers like sales coaching and copywriting, marketing, ads, funnels, branding. So I figured, okay, it probably is a good offer to buy now, so I'll hop in. Also, I bought the upsell and I upgraded to the next tier, the pro tier, for about $600 here, which puts my total investment costs at $1,600. Now, again, this was before Monetize was a thing, and my goal with this was to learn content marketing and how to grow personal brands. Because in the new world of AI, those with personal brands and know how to create content, like these guys right here, are the ones who are winning. So I figured it's best to learn a skill that's not going to be replaced by AI. And that skill is a skill that I can use for myself, or I can sell it as a skill to clients and others to make money online. So I paid the price right here and hopped in. Now, like most course buyers, I hopped in, I watched all the videos, and I did nothing for 5 months. Like, I have no idea why, I just did nothing. I pretty much wasted my investment for the first 5 months because, again, I bought it, did nothing for 5 months. So don't follow me, don't be like me. Of course, when you buy courses, you want to use them in the same day, same week, same month, to ensure you get results faster, okay? Now, back then when I bought the offer, there were no playbooks to go through to sign clients or get results, so I was pretty much doing things from scratch on my own. So I just tried stuff and I learned what worked along the way. Now, since I bought the upgraded tier for Educate right here, that came with access to call recordings with Iman and his team, where they would share their insights on the market, their advice, and feedback. And on these recordings, Iman would talk about this new business model called shadow operating, where you partner with creators to help them sell more of their information, their coaching, consulting courses, and digital products online via Instagram and YouTube. So it was kind of like a social media marketing agency, but for info. And instead of getting paid on a retainer or a monthly fee, you're getting paid a revenue split or a revenue share on every sale you help the creator make. Now, I couldn't wait for Iman, to film the videos. I'm like, great, this sounds great. Like, let's do it now. So I just hopped in, blindly, and I got going. My first client, you'll see here, I signed, was a small creator on YouTube right here. And I closed him with this DM like this. So the pitch was me overseeing, his copywriting, marketing, funnels, data tracking, conversion rates, sales, market research, a bunch of a plethora of shit to, of course, increase the value. He said yes. You can see down here. Awesome. And it was a rev share, which I closed him for 20% of every sale rev share. From there, right, we signed the contract, boom, via email. And back then was DocuSign, signed. And the main things that I helped him with were these 3 key things. The first, of course, was YouTube. So YouTube to, of course, increase his views. So I used AI to create video ideas, video thumbnails, video scripts for him. And back then, I mainly used Iman's tool, which is called Ghostwriter OS. So right here, this is a tool from Iman's team that they made. And this AI tool helps you to, of course, do marketing for your creators. Now, back then, I used this tool a lot for my first client. I used a lot of these here agents, like these. And long story short, so this tool, what it does is you first want to build a project for your client, and this tool will use, again, Iman's prompts and Iman's data to help your clients get results. It'll help them write their scripts, their emails, their offer, right, all done for them. Now, that was back then. Though I will say right now, I do kind of not really use this anymore. Nowadays, I use mostly Claude for my clients to do their VSLs, their emails, their video ideas, their funnels, offers. I use Claude now. So back then it was OS. Nowadays it's Claude. And I want to say this video is not an ad. I am not selling Iman's offer for him, and there will be no affiliate links below selling Iman's offer, okay? Because I'm not an affiliate. I'm not selling his offer. I have no ties to Iman, no ties. But I am giving you my honest feedback. So back here to the board. So step 1 was help my clients with YouTube to increase their views. Then step 2 was to help my clients build a funnel to convert the views here from the channel to sales. Now, this funnel came with tracking, because you can see back here to my message, I promised him tracking. So here, data tracking. So back here for him, I built a tracker to track every single call, lead, and sale back to the actual video they saw from his channel. So we knew exactly which videos were making him money. So you'll see here, these leads here came from these videos. So lead name, email, how much money they have, their issue or problem they need help with, and which video they came from right here. And all this data here was sent to their team, you see here, in Slack or, in team chat, Discord if you want to, where their team can track every single call, lead, client back to the video they came from, which again, if you Data is to me just beautiful. Like having this data is insane. It is insane. But anyway, I digress. Step 3 was the offer. I built for him a new offer to sell his coaching to his audience on YouTube. You can see here, offer name, the time frame, the goal of the offer, what they get in the offer here. And this offer was mostly made using AI. So back then it was here, Ghostwriter again, but nowadays it's Claude. And with these 3 key things, my first client made with me 16 grand on WAP, you can see right here, and 86 grand on Stripe, which puts his total at $102,000 in sales working with me as his shadow operator. And from that, I got paid, you see here, my first ever payment was about like 3 grand in September, then 5 grand in October, November was 4 grand up here, and the next month was again 4 grand again. So yeah, not too shabby, pretty profitable. And my highest cost, or my highest, I guess, expense for all this was the cost for the course from Iman. Again, was $1,600 for Iman's course, and the cost for my AI tools. So back then, again, was Ghostwriter, which is free, but now I use Claude. I use Claude, which is like 20 a month. I use Google AI Studio for images and AI stuff. AI Studio, which is like 16 a month. And I use Canva, which is like 15 a month for that one. So yeah, pretty low cost. All of this here came from my very first client. And what's cool is since this first client right here, I've signed 4 more. I've even signed a client on a consulting deal where they're paying me 3 grand a month for consulting on this right here. Again, YouTube marketing and funnels and offers consulting for their offer. So it's not a rev share, but it's pretty, consistent income that I can rely on every month. So yeah, so that was my journey and experience. And if I were to give shadow operating a number out of 10, I would give it an 8 out of 10. Does it work? Yes. Is it a scam? No. Now, like I said, this video is not an ad, but I want to give props to Iman because Iman took a very complex and high-level business model, but made it work for beginners. I'm sure you've heard of growth operating or AI operating, or nowadays, content operating before. Well, shadow operating is simply a more beginner-friendly version of all of those. And that's why a lot of growth operators got upset at Iman when he first launched the shadow operating model.
So Iman Gadzhi is selling yet another course, and with this one, he's riding the hype of growth operating, except he's just calling it AI shadow operating or whatever.
While the growth operating model works, there are actually a ton of issues that would prevent a beginner like you or me from getting any results. The first one is based on how the growth operating model actually works, where with growth operating, you partner with a big creator, so a big creator, big audience on Instagram or YouTube, and you build for them a sales team, a funnel, and offer. Now, that sounds great on paper, but here's the issue. Those big creators are being chased after every single growth operator on the platform. And all the big creators go to the best operators, not beginners like you or me. Also, there's only a small supply of limited big creators, which means you, me, and every operator is fighting over the same clients, which means competitive and saturated. Whereas with shadow operating, you can work with small creators, or as Iman says, micro niche creators, okay? Which means the supply of clients is infinite. Everywhere you look, you will see a small creator that you can sign. And since most growth operators only go for the big clients, these small creators are getting no attention, which means for you and me, it's untapped and unsaturated. And since they're a small creator trying to grow, then they have zero issues working with you as a beginner because they only pay you once they get paid. Another issue that I see with growth operating is the people who succeed doing growth operating all come from the same background: high ticket sales and appointment setting. So they already had experience doing sales online, and all they needed was the right offer or vehicle. And that's why they can partner with big creators and simply plug their sales skills from the past onto that offer and make money so fast. But I've never been a closer or a setter or a sales guy, and I'm sure you too, okay? Because most beginners have no sales experience. But like I said, shadow operating is different and made for beginners. So with shadow operating, the main thing is using AI for content and marketing, using AI to come up with ideas for content, videos, ideas, and offers. Because when marketing is dialed in and so good, then sales does not need to be as good. Also, I believe that using AI to create content or grow your personal brand will be more valuable skills in the future than learning sales skills to sell courses. I believe that shadow operators who learn how to use AI to create content can use those skills in any business: e-commerce, digital products, coaching, courses, SaaS, software, anything. It's just a more high value, high income skill. Now, the last thing that I would say truly separates growth operating from shadow operating is how you get clients. Because with growth operating, getting clients is not for beginners. Most growth operators sign their clients through referrals, their network, or nepotism. If you watch videos from growth operators sharing their success stories, it's always the same story. They met their first client in some paid network or some paid group, paid mastermind. They live in the same building as the client, or they take a flight to see the client in person. I'm all for going above and beyond to achieve your dreams. I am not knocking that. But what I am knocking is the fact that those steps are not repeatable for the average person. Most beginners have no network. They have no past clients. They have no friends to help them out. So you can't really rely on that to sign clients. The entire growth operating model is based on knowing the right people to get clients. And to me, that sucks because I value meritocracy. I believe that people who are smart or skilled should still win in life, regardless if they know the right people or not. But with growth operating, it's a big club. And if you're not in the club, then you get no clients, you get no growth, get no nothing. It just sucks. Whereas with shadow operating, you don't need any connections. If you want to sign a client right now as a beginner, you can. Literally go email them and sign them right now. You don't need connections or permission from anyone, okay? The power is in your hands and not knowing the right people. And I have proof. I've seen literal beginners with zero experience email creators and sign their first client through email. I've seen Kieran do it in 7 days. I've seen Russ do it. I've seen Nipun do it. And Abdulaziz got a client and his first rev share payment, okay? So beginners can do this. You don't need permission. You don't need connections. And this is why I think what Iman did was really smart. Grabbing a very complex and gate-kept business model like growth operating and making it more beginner friendly so people like you and me can hop in and see results. Now, like I said, this video was going to be my honest thoughts. And up until this point, I've been glazing Iman nonstop. So now it's time for the negative news. Here's where I think Iman and his team missed the mark and got things wrong. So when Iman first launched the idea of shadow operating, his main idea was partnering with creators on Instagram. Then you want to send them a DM on Instagram to sign them and close them as a client. And then from there, you want to help them build a low ticket product. By low ticket, I'm referring to any price point between $100, $50, in that range. Well, if you look back at my results and my journey, I didn't really do that. The creator I partnered with was not on Instagram, but on YouTube. And I did not sign them with an IG DM. Instead, the way that I'm signing clients and the way others sign clients is not through DMs, but through email. And my clients did not sell low ticket. Instead, they sold a high ticket offer, like price points of $2,000 or $6,000, $5,000, $3,000, $6,000 again, $5,000 again. So those price points, because I wanted to make the most amount of money as fast as possible. And I did, right? So my strategy was YouTube, email, and sell a high ticket offer. So from my point of view, Iman and his team kind of missed the mark on that. But other than that, I would say shadow operating is one of the best business models for beginners. So yeah. Those are my honest thoughts, my experience, my journey as a shadow operator, my first client, the results. You saw it all right here live with me. So hope you enjoyed the feedback and the live, just transparency. Do I think you should pursue this as a beginner? Yes, but only if you're following the right strategy. And if you want to see exactly how I get clients step by step, then watch this video right here.